All right, welcome everybody to the Mentorship Masters Roundtable Meetup. And I was just thinking this week about the fact that we call this a round table meetup because at the round table, when you think about a round table, there are no leaders at a round table. I know we all think that of myself as the leader, but I like to think of every one of you as a leader, and because you are a leader, and I'm helping to grow and groom you into the leaders that you are. So when you think about that round table, there's really no head of the table. We're all on equal footing, all on equal ground. So Sabu says, good morning, Masters. Good morning, Sabu. Hey, good to have you, brother. All right, so I've got an agenda here. The first thing I always like to start off with is the mind, because what you guys will start realizing is that you're going to attract more success to yourself just through understanding the mind and how it works and how to create that success. So I use a system. Everything that I'm teaching you is what I call my next level mastery system. We're probably going to change the name of it to the Mentorship Master System or something like that. Actually, the true name for this is Spiritual Business Mastery. Okay, I used to call it Biblical Business Mastery. This is something I created because I have been a student of success for so many years that I wanted to kind of document what are the pillars of success. What are those? So there are 8 pillars. There's mindset, activities, people. Okay, mindset means having the right mind. Activities means doing the right things. People means who do you associate yourself with and who do you listen to. Systems, okay, that's how are you gonna do it? Remember, PST is leverage, right? People is who's gonna do it. Systems is what will they do it with, or how will they do it, and tools is what will they do it with. So we got to have the right tools. We got a lot of great tools at EXP. Then there's the money piece. Some of you guys don't have your money piece right, and I'm going to help you clarify and get your money piece right. The reason why some of you aren't attracting money right now is because you have a poor money mindset. We're going to help. We're going to work on that over time. Rome wasn't built in a day. You guys are going to get there. And then there's the accountability piece that we're actually introducing into Mentorship Masters. So I'm super excited. We just started introducing that into Mentorship Masters last week, because I got to tell you, no person will be successful without accountability. You cannot do it. You've got to have accountability. We live in a fallen world. We're not perfect people, but accountability is what's going to help us to get to the goal that we need. And then training. That's what I provide for you guys, is training. Now, we're going to spend and we're going to live most of our time right here in M&A. That's mindset and activities. What is that? Mindset and lead generation. If you could master those 2 things, guys, you're 90% ahead of the game, and you're 90% ahead of everyone else, in being able to achieve the ultimate success that you deserve. So I want to talk to you real quick about the brain, okay? The human brain. So, Saki says, hi, everybody. And then Sabu says, we're masters of the next level. Yes, we are. There's always levels to transcend, okay? And this is not hopscotch, guys. You can't skip any level. If, a lot of times people they come to me and they're like, I want to make $1 million, or I want to do 6 figures. Okay. Well, if you got to be willing to do the work, but the work's not hard. I got to tell, a lot of people think the work is hard. That's because their mindset is hard for them, but the work isn't hard. So when you look at the human brain, let me see if I can get this. Let's say this is a human brain. Okay. Just pretend with me, right? If that's a human brain. Now, the way the human brain works is every single time that you learn something, or that you do something, okay? When you do something, it puts tracks. It puts what we call grooves, okay? And when you do something, or you believe something, or you say something, and you say that, or you believe that, or you do that over and over again, guess what happens? these grooves get deeper and 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 deeper. Those grooves just get really, really deep. So what happens is when you say things like, I can't afford that, or that's not for me, or I don't deserve it, or things like that, that negative self-talk. When you say things like that, and you've been told that, you'll never amount to anything, you're worthless. I wish I had never had you. Things that we might have heard from our parents, no, son, we can't afford that. When you start hearing those things, those grooves get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So what happens is, oops, I lost my pen. All right, thank God for long toes here. All right, so I lost my pen, but I didn't lose my train of concentration or train of thought. We're talking about these deep, deep grooves here that are in your mind. Now, my job, okay, just to give you a glimpse of what I've got my work cut out for me, literally cut out for me, because my job is to get you guys creating new grooves in your brain, okay? New grooves that say, I am capable of success. I should have 6 figures, okay? If you look at your life, look at yourself, okay? Take an inventory of where you are and what you're all about. You already know. If you look at yourself, you already have all the ingredients for success. You already have all the ingredients for 6 figures. There's really no handicap that you have that is disallowing you to create the life that you should have, except these grooves in your brain that are so stuck. And my job is to help you to transmutate those grooves, into different thought patterns. Okay, different. I am worthy. Okay, I can have that. There's nothing I can't have, because the reality is I have actually gone against what everyone told me. They, even all the experts at Keller Williams, when I took all the disc profiles and all that I am not supposed to be doing what I'm doing, but I'm defying all that. Just like Nick Segovich, or what, can't pronounce his last name, with no arms and no legs. People told him he couldn't do this and he couldn't do that and he couldn't do whatever. You can do whatever it is that God has destined you for. Okay. I'm not going to tell you to go do something you shouldn't be doing. Right. Here's a quote. One of my favorite quotes from Albert Einstein is, everyone's a genius. Everyone's a genius. But if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life thinking it's stupid. Okay. If you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life thinking that it is stupid. And, some of us are judging ourselves, or we're maybe a little bit outside of the zone of maybe where we should be. And all I'm saying is, reel it in. For you to do 6 figures is nothing. If you commit to me to work 4 hours a day, I can get you to doing 6 figures every 6 months. Okay. But what I've really got to work on is your mind. And not that I have to work on it, but I've got to give you the raw ingredients, right? So that you can start to create the belief, because you're going to do the work. I'm not going to do the work for you, but I'm helping to facilitate and create that. So now what happens though, is as you start to create new thought patterns and new beliefs. For example, Mina went on a listing appointment this week to a perfect stranger, and she nailed it. She nailed it. Now, when she left that listing appointment, she had one of the greatest feelings that she's ever had, and that's a feeling of empowerment. Now, when you have that feeling, you know for a fact, this is what I can do this for the rest of my life, and no one can ever tell me that I'm a failure again, because I know I can succeed. Okay, so what I want to do is create those new grooves for you. See, all success is, guys, get this real straight. All success is doing the same thing over and over again that got you to success and getting the same result. It's just like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Well, guess what? When I go on a listing appointment and I nail it, well, now I know I can do that every time. So then I go on the next one and I nail that one. I go on the next one, I nail that one. I go on the next one, I nail that one. So that's all success is. And actually, to be honest with you, success can actually get kind of boring. You take a guy like me doing 150 deals a year, making 800,000 in commission. That's boring. Like, I want the next challenge. Okay. I'm making the money. Make no mistake about it. That's fun. But I'm ready for the next challenge. Now what's the next challenge? Me going out there and creating leaders with people like you, right? And you see some of the people that God's sending me. Some of you guys are a little iffy, like a little janky, right? A little rough around the edges. But that's who God's sending me. That's who I work with. I remember it kind of reminds me of when Jesus went and he got Peter, a fisherman, off the boat. Man, this guy was rough around the edges. I mean, he was rough, super rough. And when Jesus came up to him, he says, follow me and I will make you a fisher of men. And Peter was like, man, I'm not even worthy. Jesus, I'm not even worthy for you to come into my house, right? And Jesus says, no, I'm cool. You're the one I got my eye on, right? And Peter went and he turned the world upside down, is what they said. Right? But he was just a common fisherman, didn't think he was destined for anything more than to catch fish, okay, for the rest of his life. But what did he end up doing? He ended up creating a movement, right? Just like you guys are going to do, right? Because I know the people, sometimes it's funny, God and I have our little fun time together. Some of you guys have a lot of work to do, right? Just like I've had a lot of work. I've done a lot of work in my life, and I still have a lot more to do. But I'm up to the challenge. So all it is, guys, just to put a bow on that, is changing the way you think. And then those grooves become, as you start getting these little wins, these little successes, it becomes deeper and deeper and deeper. But you've got to do the work. If you do what I tell you to do and say what I tell you to say, you will get the results. I know for a fact, because I've coached thousands of agents and I've seen the results in action. So our book of the month, guys, is, we've got a couple comments here. Let's see here. Lucas says it's called ego. Ego telling you what you can and cannot do. Being in spiritual alignment with the universe is the key. Absolutely. I've heard some people say ego stands for edging God out. Ego, So that's a good one. I like that one, Lucas. I call those tracks grooves, the defaults in the brain. That's Patty Lynn. Thoughts default to how the brain is wired. So we rewire it for good thoughts by practicing those thoughts. Absolutely right, Patty Lynn. Good information there. Mina says, same here. They said she was a high C, isn't made for real estate, but that isn't true as I'm learning to be a D. The thing about it is that we become more dominant when we get comfortable with what we're doing. When we absolutely know that we can do this, watch out, world. It doesn't matter what any tests say, you can do it. Absolutely, that's right. And then I know you guys can read this, but for the sake of those that are watching the recording later, I'd like to repeat some of the comments here. Sabu says, you already have it. I accept the opportunity to grow and empower others. Thank you. Thank you for including the Most High God Almighty. Amen. Couldn't do anything without him. That's right. That's Carlton said that. Thank you. You bet. All right. So our book of the month, guys, is The Secret to Permanent Prosperity. I did put a link out in our workplace, so make sure you get this. This is what we're reading this month. And we're going to share next week. We're going to share some ahas. The last couple of months, we were reading the Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. That took us 2 months to read because it was so thick. But this is a real thin read, real easy. But it's got principles in here that will actually create prosperity for you for life. Very good book. Okay, so one of the things I want to talk about is the fact that we're rolling out attraction sites. Okay, so I want to share, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. There we go. So that you can see what I've got here. Let's see here. let me move this. Okay, here we go. All right, so move this. Okay. Now we're rolling out these attraction sites, and I just want to walk you through what this is so that you'll know what it is and how to use it. So I created, and it was actually David was David Overholzer was the one that kind of gave me this idea to create attraction sites for each of you guys instead of it all coming to my site. I say my site, it really was our site, partnerwithnolly.com, but it was partnerwithnolly.com. So maybe it was my site. Anyway, so now you got your own site, and it's mentorshipmastersgroup.com/ and then whatever the ending will be. Like this is Mina's site. So it's actually /Mina, or you can do Mina-Slaughter. But I'm creating these. I can only do about one a day because they do take a little bit of time to recreate. But so this is the layout of it. At the very top, why are agents leaving their brokerage to join EXP? It's got some videos. It's got it's a 7-minute EXP presentation right here that's real concise and to the point. This is where I put your information, kind of a miniature version of the bio goes in here with your picture. And you guys can all see this, right? Yeah, I think, hold on, let me see. Yeah, yes, okay, cool. You guys can see it. And then right in here is where it has why EXP is good for agents, teams, brokers, and some information, some buttons here as well. And then it's got a longer video here. It's got information about Mentorship Masters, because everybody that you recruit or that you attract, is the politically correct word, to EXP also gets Mentorship Masters, okay? So it's got information about that. And then it's got all the FAQs there at the bottom. Now, because these are individual sites for you guys, you can customize this however you want. Don't get Uncle Knolly to get too busy up in here, because I have other things I do. But if you want me to replace this video with a custom video that you do or whatever, I mean, they're truthfully, they are customizable. So if you have a special request of how you want yours put together, let me know and I will do that for you. So does anybody have any? So how do you use these? So my recommendation is that I know Dave Overholzer put it on his KV Core site as a link. You should have it pretty much anywhere you are or that you go. I put it on my email. So like if you look at my emails, if I were to do a new email here, you'll see that this is the signature that pulls up, and at the very bottom of my signature, you'll see it says our organization is growing. Partner with me today, and it's got a link right there. So you want to put it at the end of your email signature as well. You could even put it on your signature of your iPhone signature or email signature. Again, you may not want everybody to get this, but for me, it's not a big deal. Like if I'm sending this to a client and it doesn't apply to them, then they just ignore it anyway. Like, if it's a real estate client, but it might be a client that's thinking about getting into real estate. Hey, why not? So that's how I do it on my signature. And also pretty much anywhere else that you should be putting that. Okay, there's a couple of, so Sabu says he's ready for his. Now Sabu is licensed in American Sign Language, so I can add that to his. Yeah, great idea, Dave. Thank you, Dave, for that idea. I tell you, the best ideas are going to come from you guys. Judy mentioned the attraction site looks great. Very classy. And Judy, you're actually next, because I have on our workplace account, I have a place I'm saying, hey, do you guys want this? Don't tell me you want it here, because this is a Zoom call. I'm not going to remember. Just go out to the workplace site. Let me know that you want it. there's a post there, and you just tell me that you want it, and I'm doing those in the order of the people that raise their hand and say they want it. But it's a great, I mean, I can tell you, I've actually attracted I'll let you know the numbers. I've attracted about 87 people from my site to at least inquire for more information. 87, okay? And many of you are here today because you came to my site, Partner with Knolly, and you listened to a few things and you joined that way. I've had 2 people to join me that I've never spoken to, even to this day. They've joined Mentorship Masters just through the website. So I think it's a great tool to have. Why not, right? And you're going to get paid for every time that person does production. Somebody's going to get paid for that, for them doing production. Might as well be you. By the way, let me just throw this out there because, I absolutely love EXP. I mean, EXP is a phenomenal company. I think we have the best splits. We have the best cap. We have the fact that there's no royalty fees. There's no franchise fee. We have, we have stock options. We have great stuff, great leadership. At the same time, guys, don't be convoluted. Many of us have drunk the Kool-Aid for so long that we have a misunderstanding of the facts. Just because I'm out there recruiting doesn't mean that I can't pull back and say, wait a minute, let's look at the facts here. The facts and the reality is it doesn't matter what real estate company you're with, guys. I've been saying this for years. I was with Prudential, which is now Berkshire Hathaway. I was successful there. I went to Remax for 5 years. I was successful there. I went to Keller Williams for 10 years. I was successful there. I'm at EXP now because they have the best package that I've seen in the industry, right? And they have the ability for me to be able to give my Cadillac coaching for free. EXP has that built in. But I'm not going to get the idea that EXP is necessarily better than Keller Williams or Remax or whoever else. I mean, I think they are because of the splits and the no franchise fees and all that. But the reality is you can succeed at any company. It's your individual efforts that are going to create success. What makes a difference, guys, is who do you listen to? Who are you aligning yourself with, right? For example, I can build websites with any tool. I use ClickFunnels, okay? But there's a dozen tools out there. I can do the same thing with any of them. It doesn't really matter which one I use, but I'm going to align myself with one that has the best leadership for me. And that's the reason why I came up with Mentorship Masters, because you guys actually get a coach and a mentor that's going to teach you stuff that's going to help you succeed, right? And I can guarantee you, at every brokerage I've been with, I've never had this level of mentorship like what you guys are getting. I've never had it, but I've always liked to have it. I wish I had it, and that's what I'm providing. That's the difference that we provide. Here at Mentorship Masters. So let me see if there's any questions about that. Let's see. Teresa says, I think you're one of those rough around the edges that I'm talking, but I'm ready to become all that God intended me to be. And I'm so excited to be part of this company. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Teresa. Here's the truth, guys. You should have seen me. I was a pitiful sight. When I moved to Austin, I was 18 years old. I was super duper rough around the edges. I had just come from being I was a gangster. I was a thug, in my former life. And nobody thought I could amount to anything. They wouldn't even bother. Mentors, forget it. They wouldn't even spend the time of day on me because, I was a throwaway. I was not redeemable. Okay. I had by the time I was 18, I had 4 felony counts on my record. Okay. Now, thank God, as an adult, I don't have anything like that record to see it. That was a juvenile. I was a juvenile punk, delinquent. And some of you guys have kids like this right now. Teenagers, we call them teenagers, right? And I thought I could do anything. I left home when I was 16 years old. I dropped out of school. The last truth, this is God's honest truth. The only grade that I ever graduated from was kindergarten. Okay. I dropped out of school. Now I did, they allowed me to continue in school, but I never graduated because I was just a knucklehead. I was always really smart up here, but I didn't care. I didn't apply myself. right? I've never completed past ninth grade. Okay. Now I did get my GED and went to college for a year, but guess what I did? I dropped out of college. So I don't fit in. I'm a misfit. So that's why I know the kind of people I attract. Right? So there's no mystery, right? But at the end of the day, guys, you might see a chunk of coal, but what God sees is a diamond. Just like I like what Michelangelo said. He says when he was carving the David out of a solid chunk of marble, okay, when he was carving that David, he said the David is already there. All I have to do is remove the obstructions and free and free the David. In other words, we looked at it like he was creating a David, but the block of marble was already there. All he did was cut away everything that wasn't David, and the reality came forth. So with you guys, God might have handed me a big chunk of coal, but there's a diamond in there. So all I'm doing is chipping and chiseling and helping you guys to chip away that coal so that the diamond can shine. Because the diamond's already there. I'm not creating a diamond. You already are. And so when I was a delinquent, I was just as much of a prince and a king as I am now. I was a master then, right? But I was a young knucklehead. Right? So somebody had to kind of chisel away a little bit with it. So those are the websites I wanted to just kind of mention to you about that. Oh, can I put myself back up? Yeah. So I got to remember how to do, hold on, let me see. Oh, here we go. Y'all want to see Uncle Knolly. I get that. And I have to remember to do that. Mina says, can you put yourself back up? I'm staring at the attraction page. I need to remember to switch back and forth. I'm learning that. Thank you, Mina, for reminding me of that. That's funny. That's why I love you guys, because we can do stuff without feeling uncomfortable. Like, we can let our hair down, as it were, right? Sabu has a good comment here. He says, like creating a bonsai tree, you remove what does not belong in its space. Yeah, that's I know a guy out of San Diego that does that. He creates these bonsai trees and this miniature of all kinds of stuff, amazing stuff. And so thank you, Sabu, for mentioning that. Okay, so I actually have a check. What I do, guys, is I have like a handy, I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't see it. Anyway, I have a checklist of things that I want to bring to the call. And sometimes you guys will text me and I'm like, oh, that's a good one for the roundtable. Okay, an update on the Triple My Listings book. This one right here. So I just heard from the printers already printed them. And I just heard from the company that ships them out that they just received the books yesterday. Okay, so I'm gonna get with them today. All we've got to do, Patty Lynn's already got all the email addresses, the ones that have sent their email address. I mean, not the email, your physical address, because this is gonna be physically mailed to you. And for everybody that we have an address for, we're gonna start mailing these puppies out. So we're gonna get the addresses over to our shipping company. They're in Boise, Idaho. Believe it or not, that's where they're located. And they're going to start shipping those books out. So everybody should really have their book by next week, is what I'm thinking. And that's 27 marketing ideas for free seller leads. Okay, Triple My Listings. You guys have been asking about how can we get free seller leads, and that's this book right here is going to help you. So when you go in your lead generation bunker, you're gonna flag the ideas that you love, and then you'll go right into those ideas. You only have to pick 3 or 4 or 5 of them. And then you start, and it'll tell you exactly what you should be doing when you're in your lead generation time. Okay. So, yeah, make sure y'all get your mailing addresses to Patty Lynn, because she's the one that's she's updating the spreadsheet, and we'll get that out to you. Oh, I'm excited, guys. This next thing I'm going to tell you about, I'm gonna share my screen again, because I want to share with you the. Oh, I'm getting good at this, guys. All right, I'm going to share with you the accountability partner worksheet. Here it is. Woo, look at that. All right. So let me, yeah, here we go. All right. Um, all right. So remember we talked about last week that you guys are going to each have your own accountability partner. And I want you guys to start partnering up with accountability partners. So this is the accountability partner worksheet that I created for you guys. Okay. Remember, Uncle Knolly's got you back. I'm going to be creating the tools that you need. So this is my accountability. I'm going to walk you through this so that when you start using it, you'll kind of know how to use it. My accountability partner worksheet. This is where you put in who your accountability partner is. And then you're going to put in your goals for the week. Okay. Let me just go through it real quick and then I'll kind of answer any questions around it. My time blocking schedule. This is going to be the week of, and it might be like May 5 or May 6 through May, whatever, you know. And then you go into your lead generation bunker every day. Now you have 3 approved activities: generate new prospects, follow up with existing prospects, and generate and implement marketing plans. Those are the 3 things that you're allowed to do. Those are the approved activities in your lead generation time. You're going to put down what times you're time blocking from Monday through all the way through Friday, the total hours, and what you focused on during that time block. Okay. Down here, you're going to put, did you time block for lead generation at least 2 hours a day, 4 days this week? Yes or no. You're going to circle. If not, why? Okay. Then down here, it's going to say, according to my goal this week, I met my goal, exceeded my goal, or fell short of my goal. If you exceeded or met your goal, high five, you rock. So you want to celebrate your win. That's very, very important that you celebrate your win. And let's get to work on your goal for next week. And if you fell short of your goal, don't introduce judgment to it and don't ask why. The only question is, what specifically are you going to do so that you will have met or exceeded your goal this next week? Okay. Now, here's what I want you guys to do. As accountability partners, I want to make sure that you send this form completed, preferably at the end of every week, like Friday evening, preferably, to your accountability partner so that they have a worksheet of what you've done. Okay. So every week, again, I want you to fill this out. You know, you fill it out every day. And then at the end of the week, you're going to send that over to your accountability partner so that you'll be ready for your call. Okay, makes sense? Yeah, a lot of you guys need partners. So, you know, get together with Patty Lynn through work chat, and she'll help you to get a partner, or you could even do it in the workplace and we'll help you to get a partner. We've got 28 members right now, 28 members. So everybody should have a partner. We're at an even number, right? Some of you guys are more active than others. I tell you, the more active you are, the more success you're gonna achieve. Okay, so are there any questions around this accountability partner worksheet? Do you guys like this? Is this going to be helpful to you? Cool. All right. Any questions around this? Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay. Thanks. Cool. Okay. Everybody seems to be pretty easy. Okay. So give me an idea. This is a quiz. Give me an idea of, well, no, let's not do that. Going on a listing appointment. Okay. Is that an approved activity during your lead generation time? Yes or no? Going on a listing appointment. No. Yeah, no. Sabu says no. Judy says no. Okay. Some of you say yes, some say no. Going on a listing appointment is, believe it or not, I mean, it's a little tricky, but believe it or not, it's not an approved activity. It's not. Some of you guys would say, well, I'm following up with an existing prospect. Well, if you've already got the appointment, they're no longer really a prospect. You're going to go and you're going to nail it and you're going to get it. You know, when Mina went on a listing appointment this week, she was up against another agent, a Keller Williams agent, might throw that in, since, you know, and she got it. She got it. So you guys are going to say the right things. And so no, that's not approved. Now I have approved, like, our time. So think about it this way. If you're generating a new prospect, or you're following up with an existing prospect, by phone. That might be making the appointment for the listing, appointment, or scheduling the appointment, or generating and implementing marketing plans. I fudge a little bit and say what we're doing right now is a good time blocked activity for lead generation, because I guarantee you, when you build the mind, forget it. You're going to have all the leads that you want just coming to you. Just until people experience this, they don't understand it. But the mind is such a powerful emitter of frequency that it's just the way God wired and made it. It's beyond description. We have yet to unpack the wonders of God. Okay, so the rest of this I think is very, very self-explanatory. I think there was something else I wanted to share that now you do. Okay, so there is something else I want to share. So did you time block for lead generation at least 2 hours a day, 4 days a week? Yes or no? And if not, why? Now, typically I don't like you guys to ask why questions, because why introduces a bit of judgment, or it could. The reason I want to introduce the why here is because I want you to start looking at the answers that you put down as to why you're not time blocking. I've only ever experienced 5 different answers, 5, and I write about them in this book, Triple My Listings, and I write about them in Successful Listings. I've only seen 5 answers of why people don't time block, and I can tell you all 5 of them are invalid. Okay. I mean, there are some valid ones, if you're in the hospital or something like that. But I even time block when I'm on vacation. I don't think you need to do that, by the way. If you time block about 40 hours, I like to take about 12 weeks of vacation a year. Okay. So if I was to time block for 40 weeks, 2 hours a day, 4 days, that's fine. But I'm a little crazy. I mean, I'm just in such of a habit that I get up. I did my time block this morning, 2 hours. Okay. I do it every day. I do 4 days a week. So I want you to put in why here, because I want you to start seeing what you're doing to sabotage yourself. Okay. What else do we want to talk about? Let me see if, okay. Let me see if there's any. Mina says, thanks. I've been so pumped. I picked up another piece of business yesterday. Just been running on positivity and wanted and accepting the attraction. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Does it matter how we generate leads? It doesn't matter, Sabu. It does not matter. This is something I don't teach, but God's honest truth, because I'm scared to death to knock doors. Even to this day, I have a high I profile, and I'm just scared to knock doors. You give somebody like Dinko, and you just tell him, hit these 100 homes, man, he's knocking. You didn't know, no problem. But it's not in my personality profile. And, stick within your personality profile. Do what you love. That's why when you look at these, there's going to be some that you absolutely hate. When you look at them right away, you're going to be like, I'm not doing that. But there's going to be some you love. Stick with those, because you'll have the most success with them. Okay. So, but I used to go into neighborhoods because they would say that I had a door knock. And I wouldn't knock doors, but what I would do is I was driving the neighborhood and I would just be there meditating, like, this is my neighborhood. I'm going to get, I want 10 houses. And I would just do that. And I would do it for like 20 minutes, and then I'd drive away. And then I'd get a thought, like a little bit, because my subconscious mind was activated. Then the next day I get an idea. Hey, why don't you, do these signs, or why don't you do this or that or whatever? And I do it. Or why don't you do this mail out, right? And I'll suddenly start getting listings in that neighborhood, or somebody would call me out the blue from the neighborhood, right? Just crazy stuff. I mean, it's crazy, but it's just the way it really works, guys. So yeah, you can do any ones that you want, Sabu. There's none that are better than others. Mina says, I used Knolly's listing packet info and they were blown away. So everyone should get that together ASAP and print it. Be ready to go out the door with some packets. Absolutely. Every single thing in that packet, this is God's honest truth. There's a guy, I'll just tell you, Stuart Sutton, and he and I used to teach on stage together. There, that's better. I don't want Mina getting after me again. So we used to teach on stage together, and he would teach this thing, called the greatest listing presentation, or the greatest listing or pre-listing package, the greatest pre-listing package in the world. Okay, that's what he teaches. He's a Remax guy. And we would go on stage together and we would do these events, and the events would be, I think they charge like $3,000 for you to attend the event. And he had a presentation, 30 minutes or 45 minutes, the greatest pre-listing package in the world. That's what it was. And he'd go through all this stuff of a pre-listing package. Like, I don't know how many pages it was. Like, I would hate to be the seller that sat on the end of going through all that crap, right? And God's honest truth, a year ago, he called me up and he purchased my pre-listing package. This is the guy that had the greatest pre-listing package in the world. Because I won't say that I don't know that I would say that my pre-listing package is the greatest in the world, but I will say that it's geared to get listings, period. Everything about it is psychologically driven to make them want to list with you, period. That's what it's all about. So yeah, it works. It definitely works. Does reading the book count? Reading the book does not count toward lead generation. It's a great thought. Now, if you reading this book, yes. I'm sorry, yes. Reading this book does count because this is a lead generation book. So this falls into generating and implementing marketing plans. But some of us, Sabu, we get ready to get ready. My coach used to tell me all the time, Knolly, it sounds like you're getting ready to get ready. You know, perfection is the enemy of progress. Winston Churchill, perfection is the enemy of progress. So some of you guys are waiting until everything is exactly perfect before you launch, and it'll never be perfect. I got news for you. And there's one of the words that I love. It's one of my favorite words. It's the word tweak, T-W-E-A-K, tweak. Okay. So don't worry if it's perfect. You can always tweak it later. I tell you, when I found out about tweak, I fell in love because I was like, oh, it doesn't have to be perfect before I launch. Some of you guys are waiting for perfection and you shouldn't. Are open houses a must? Dinko's asking, are open houses a must to farm an area? Not sure it fits with me, but I'm down for it if needed. And is there an open house formula available to us? So yeah, I do write about that in here, Dinko. But my philosophy on open houses is I don't do open houses, I do events. I do events. So when I do an open house, it's an event. So I'm gonna have wine tasting, we're gonna have a happy hour, we're gonna do, there's a local pizza restaurant that's gonna be sampling their pizzas, or a barbecue joint. It's gonna be an event. And so, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna invite 100 neighbors to the event. And that's stuff that I teach. So I'll be teaching more about that. But who shows up at open houses? Okay. Neighbors that are, you know, either nosy neighbors or potential future sellers. Okay. And so what I do, that's the biggest turnout you'll have. So I like to invite 100 neighbors and I like to create an event, not an open house. And I teach that in the book here. Knolly, it's been difficult with working a full-time job during the day, but I'm convinced with all the tools and motivation you've given us that I can do this. Yeah, it is difficult when you're doing this and you have a part-time job. So many of you have part-time jobs. Some of you guys have full-time jobs, and I get it. It's very difficult to implement this. Like one of my teachers used to tell me, Knolly, it's hard to ride two horses at the same time. It can be done, but it's with difficulty. Yeah, so just put that out there that, you know, you see yourself working in real estate full time and generating the life of your dreams. You know, Mina and I had a conversation and actually did a video with her earlier today because she started with me 90 days ago, and within the last 2 months, she's generated more production than she had all of last year. Okay, within 2 months of being with me. And I'm not saying that I'm the reason. You know, I am the reason in a sense that I'm the catalyst, okay? But she did the work, just like you guys are doing the work. So let's see. Dinko says that's a great quote and kind of where I'm stuck. Yeah, perfection is the enemy of progress. Sometimes imperfection catches the eye more. Yeah, Lucas says that, absolutely. Dinko says, do I do that for every listing? I don't do any open houses, guys. I don't do them. But if you're going to do them, and I do teach open houses, because I think it's a great strategy if you want to generate more listings. See, every listing you take should generate 4 closings. 4, okay? Every listing that you take should generate 4 closings. You should get another listing. From the way that you're marketing, the reason why we market our listings, guys, is for 2 reasons. Number 1, to pacify the seller, okay? Because listing marketing does not sell listings, but it pacifies the seller. And number 2, to generate more listings. When you market your listing, you generate more listings. Guess what else you generate? Buyers. So every listing you put out there should generate 1 more listing and 2 buyer leads that end up buying, okay? At least 1. So you should have 3 closings or 4 closings with every listing you take. And so that's the reason why open houses or events are a good idea if you do them the way that I teach in the book. Let's see. Yeah, roasted vegetable barbecue. Yeah, or Beyond Burgers. Carlton's talking about because I don't eat much meat. I don't know if Carlton, you're on that too. Yeah, you could do that. You could even have, we have a place here called Central Market. And you know, I don't know if they would participate or not, but I could have them come out and sample some of their stuff. It's a grocery store. There's a like say you have one of these medical clinics, these 20 emergency clinics. You know, have somebody come in and do free blood pressure and checks or free whatever, you know, screenings or something like that. You know, make it an event. Like people are coming to that house for the event, not necessarily to see the house, right? But guess what? It's an open house too. So it becomes an event. Let's see. My daughter's B&B is for sale. Open house last Sunday, 21 people, 2 offers. Yeah. So that's Patty Lynn. Her daughter has a B&B. She had an open house. She had 21 people visit, 2 offers. Okay. So open houses do work, but you got to do them right. And the whole idea behind it, see, if you're talking about that you're the mayor of a neighborhood, which I'm teaching you guys how to become, and we're going to have a special class where we go over the material in this book. But when you're talking about you're the mayor of that community, you need to be seen in that community, okay? Don't think about, oh, I got to go do an open house. No, I'm the mayor. The mayor's going to go do an appearance. Mayors don't do open houses. Mayors do appearances. So when you go, you're going to go do an appearance, and and it's going to be an event, you know, featuring Dinko or featuring Mina or featuring Carlton or whoever it is that's doing that. Yeah, how to host the open houses is in here. And remember, I promised you guys we're going to do a 3-hour call where we go through nothing but what's in this book. But I want you to have the book in your hand first. It's going to be a 3-hour. It's going to be a crazy call, y'all. And I might end up having to do a bathroom break in between. There's no shame in my game. I drink a lot of liquids. I got another one up right here, my orange juice. So we might go halfway through and do a bio break. And no problem. But I want to spend 3 hours with you guys going through every single idea that's in here. Don't get the idea that you have to wait until we do that call before you start implementing this stuff. You know, don't get that perfection thing going. Do you have an event for every listing or just like 1 a quarter? If it were me, I would have an event for every listing in the area that I'm trying to be a mayor. Now, if you take a listing that's an hour away, which I have done and will do, because I know I'm only going to go to that house 1 time ever. Okay, I only go to my listings once ever. Okay, I never go back to the listing ever again, except to pull up the sign lockbox. Okay, so I know I'm only going to go to that house once ever, and so I'll take a listing an hour away, but I'm not going to do an open house there because I'm not trying to be a mayor in that area. Anywhere that I want to be the mayor, I'm going to be making an appearance. Okay, so yeah. And do you only do it in your farming area homes? I would recommend to do it mostly in your farming area homes. Now, if somebody wants to host an open house, you'll have no shortage of open house people that want to do open houses. And you can find an EXP agent. I think they have to be an EXP agent. I'm still trying to find that out. But I heard somewhere a compliance thing that they have to be also affiliated with the same brokerage because it gets into brokerage. you know, the confusion. Wade, by the way, you got your microphone on. Wade, did you want to say something? If not, go ahead and turn it off. All right, so we're almost at the top of the hour, guys. Let me see what else. Oh, yeah, I wanted to do, a couple more things I want to show you guys. Two more things. And then if we have to stay after class, I'm happy to do that. Let me see. Somebody's asking, Knolly, would you farm an area with 2,500 homes? Sure. But again, I have the criteria on farming in here. So when you get this, you know, it has to be 500 or more homes and should be a 7% turn. Carlton's asking that. Should be a 7% turn. By the way, these are free marketing ideas. So none of these are going to cost you any money out of pocket. So I don't want to have, there's going to be no excuses that you don't have the money to do any of these things because none of them cost money. You know, I don't like spending money and I know you guys don't either. What's the best day for an open house? It varies. I mean, different people say different things in different areas. Most people do them Saturday, Sunday. I've seen them done on Fridays. I've seen them done. If it were me, I would do, if I were doing a happy hour, I'd probably do that like on a Thursday night or Friday night, something like that, 4 to 6, and getting the whole neighborhood to be coming to that. Boy, you better stock up, huh? Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. We used to do those all the time, happy hours. We used to do them on Friday nights. Okay. It's a funny thing when people you start seeing the regulars coming to your happy hour. You know, it's like they just come to every single one. Okay, I want to show you guys something real quick, and that is another one. I'm picking on Mina today. So with me on Mina's bio, I really like how we actually added this, and I don't know if she remembers that we put this in here, but I think everybody should have this in there or think about having it. It says, Mina Slaughter is a founding member of the Mentorship Masters Group who have sold more than 100 houses. Okay, so when people see that, and the only reason I brought that up is because Mina was saying that these people that she went to go list and got the listing, they were going on and on about her bio. And this is another reason why, guys, I tell you got to have your bio online. These people, I can't tell you how much time they spent researching her, okay? And they found all this about 1,000 houses and all this kind of stuff, and they just went nuts. And so I went back and looked at her bio. I was like, what is it about her bio? And it leads out with that. So I think that's a great way to lead out in your bio. Another thing that I'm willing to do, guys, for those of you that want it, is if you tell me, because I'm a branding expert. It's one of the things that I do is branding and marketing. So if you're like, you want me to go through your brand, I will do them with one caveat. I'm going to do them on this call. So I'm not going to do a whole bunch of private ones, but I'll do them. I'll do one per call, and I'm going to be brutally honest. Like you have to give me permission to kick your you-know-what, because I'm just going to tell you like it is. This sucks. This is what you need to change. I wouldn't do it this way. Unless if you guys don't like honesty, then don't volunteer to be picked on. Okay. Because I'm really, really honest when it comes to, I want you guys to be successful, period. So Mina says she called her husband in from the yard. Okay, her husband was out doing yard work to read the bio. She was so impressed. The guy was in the middle of doing yard work. She called him in and said, you got to read this. Okay, this is the way people are researching you guys. Here's the thing. You have to win the listing before you ever meet with the seller. I tell agents that all the time. They're like, but Mina understands it now because they had already, before she walked in the door, she already had the listing. Why? Because it's all set up. I tell you guys, get your pre-listing package ready. Make sure you get your this ready and that ready. You're like, well, do I really have to do all that? Well, yeah, you have to do it if you want success. Okay. If you want to go out on a listing appointment and bomb and fail, that's an at bat. Why would you, if you have an at bat and you have a chance to strike, to hit a home run, why would you go strike out? There's a little bit of work that you have to do. Let me tell you this. When you put this together, it's a once and done. Okay. You'll never have to do this again, unless you switch brokerages, right? Which I hope you don't do. But if you did, it's whatever is in your best interest. Or something happened to where you just felt like you wanted to update it. Okay. It's a once and done. So let's see who, Sabu says he's ready. Where do you get the pre-listing packet? Saki was asking, where do you get the pre-listing packet? It's in two places. It's on the workplace at EXP, and it's also in the Next Level Insiders Club. Okay, just go to the Next Level Insiders Club and download it, or you go to the workplace and it's right there. The complete pre-listing package is right there. And then last week I went through the pre-listing package, so make sure you watch that video that kind of shows you how to put it together. There's a couple more. Where are we at on time? So we're at the top of the hour. There's a couple of things that I wanted to share with you guys that Dinko wanted to know about. And so I'm going to do that real quick, and then we're going to call it quits. One of them is the marketing plan. Okay, the marketing plan. So I'm just going to kind of go through real quick the marketing plan. So the first thing that I promise is colorful signage. And I say that our signs are full color, front and back, and 30% larger than the other agent sign. That's the reason why I do an 18 by 30 sign. And a lot of you guys are like, oh, I want an 18 by 24. No, you don't. You're a listing specialist. You're a mayor. When's the last time you've seen somebody running for mayor with a tiny sign? A mayor, if I'm running for an elected office, I want the biggest sign I can have. You have a yard. Somebody's giving you, they've elected you as the mayor of their property. You have a yard to put your sign in, and you want the smallest one? Why would that even be a thought that it would occur to you, right? You want the signs that Uncle Knolly uses, which is about the biggest sign that I've seen. Although Annette did top me. She's got a 24 by 24, which I created for her. She's got a huge sign, and I like it even better, but it's some of you guys, it's big. It's big. She'll have to show you that. 24-hour info hotline. Okay. So all that is, guys, is it's a like now all I do is I put in a phone number. Actually, I have a list. If you go into the resources, and David Speedy helped me update this, there's a list of resources where you can get that hotline. But even if you only have your phone number, just put on there that you don't put 24-hour, just say information hotline, and just say buyers can call and get information on your house. And it's your phone number, right? Now, here's the thing. First of all, I want you guys to understand none of this does anything to help the house get sold. Okay. So don't start believing your own Kool-Aid, right? What's the only reason why we put this together? Who can tell me? Because it does not sell houses, guys. What sells houses is the condition of the house, the price, the location, okay, and the motivation of the seller. That's what sells houses. This does not sell houses. But why do I put together a marketing plan for the seller? Sabu, I couldn't have said it any better. It gets the listing, period. It gets the listing. It sells us, Lucas says, to make them happy and list with you, Dinko. Yeah. I like the way Sabu said it. It gets the listing, because, a lot of mentors like me will teach you, you got to educate the seller and let them know that marketing is not what sells houses. Why would you do that? Do you know how hard it is to change somebody's mind? Guys, I've read a lot of psychology books. That bookshelf over there has a lot of psychology books on it, okay? A psychology of selling and all that. My mom has a master's degree in psychology. Do you know how hard it is to get somebody to change their mind? I wouldn't even go there. If somebody says, Knolly, what are you going to do to market my house? Are you going to market my house? Yeah, I'm going to market your house. Just give them what they want. What's the problem? You know, so you make it easy on yourself. Internet advertising is the next one. We're going to be featured on 900 websites. And what is that? That's the good old fashioned. Now we used to use List Hub, LISTHUB, List Hub. But now that we're with EXP, guess what? They're connected with all that listing syndication, and they're going to put the thing on all those websites for you. Okay, so that's automatically done, right? Now it is true that a lot of agents offer this. Who cares? You know, a lot of agents don't have a marketing plan that they show people. Don't take it for granted that the seller knows that you're going to do this stuff, because they don't. Print advertising, we do the just listed cards, and you do it to 100 homes around that just listed, okay? And there's a company that we recommend. It's on the list. We used to do Premier Homes Magazine. We don't even do those anymore. So I wouldn't even recommend you put that on the list. Premium Knolly Team Marketing. We do a website image tour. So that's something that we hire our videographer to go out and do. We do the e-newsletter, the e-letter that goes out every single month, okay? And that's Do More Solds. And then that has a link back to the website that's featuring their listing. And then, which is knollyteam.com. And then we also have the Knolly Team postcard mailing that we do, okay? So we do our own postcard mailings. And then down here, you have industry marketing, the MLS, and you know, you can put down here, hey, you're listed with a premier company or whatever, you know. So the only reason you have this, guys, is just to have something, right? You can change this up. You can add more things. You can delete some stuff. Sellers don't care. They're going to list the house because they know, like, and trust you. That's why they're going to list with you. They know you, they like you, they trust you. Or they like you when they meet you. They're getting to know you, but they trust you, okay? So that's the reason why they're going to do business with you. So don't get too stuck on that. This is completely irrelevant and unneeded, except that sellers want it. So you give them what they want. So that's that. The other thing I want to mention, to go over, what time are we? We're over our call, guys. I'm going to stay after class. And I didn't go over Canva yet. I'm going to do that next. But I want to honor those that, because I try to keep this down to 1 hour. It's difficult with me. So I want to honor our time together. There's one other thing that I want to do, and I want to cover how to make a cover sheet with Canva. So for those of you that want to stay after class with me and learn how to put a nice cover sheet together, I'm going to show you how to do that. For those of you that need to exit, c'est la vie. And God bless you. I'll see you. I'm going to try to do another one of these. I do three a month, but I want to try to do another one next week because you guys have a lot of questions, and I want to stay up on top of them. So thank you. Has this been good, guys? Have you enjoyed it? Has it been meaningful? You've learned? Okay, good. All right. So for those of you staying after class, as Dinko tends to have to do, because he must be like me. He's one of those after class type guy. The pink slip. Let me share my screen again, and I'm going to show you guys how simple it is to put together using Canva a cover sheet, okay, or really anything that you can think of. So we're going to go to canva.com, and let's see. If you guys have any questions, just pop those questions in there as I'm going along. So so as you can see in Canva, I use it a lot. I use it for you guys' signs. I use it for your email signatures. I use it for all kinds of stuff, guys, for my funnels, for different graphics, for different things that I create. Some of you guys are seeing yourself here. You know, I spend a lot of time in Canva, and I love it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to just create a design, and I'm going to do a letter. Okay, I'm going to do it, and you could use this for anything like Facebook ads, all kinds of stuff. But for now, we're just going to start with a blank screen because I want you guys to see how easy it is to do this. So I'm going to first thing I'm going to put some text on here, and this is going to be Home Sellers Guide. Okay, put that up here. And I'm going to change the font of that. And I'm just going to go to work, guys. If you have any questions while I'm doing this, I'm just going to let you guys peek over my shoulder while I put one of these together. I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to put, I'm actually going to copy this. Oops, I want to do that. I'm going to copy that text because I like the font. And I'm going to say resources and information. And I'm going to make this a little smaller, maybe a little bigger than that. Put that there. And then, you know, you can upload any picture that you want. So let's say since I'm working with Dinko's, I'm gonna put his picture there. And then I'm gonna put, I think I have a picture of some houses in here somewhere. And if you don't have a good house that you want to use, you know, you can always, you know, import any image that you want. I can put this big stack of $100 bills because that's already coming to Dinko. I can see it coming right now. I'm going to put this for sale sign. I'm going to put the Knolly team, put the EXP in here. So right now I'm just dropping images in, and I'm going to put this image here. Okay. So now I got all my images in here, and guys, there are tons and tons of, you know, YouTube videos and tutorials on how to use Canva. So I don't want to really take up too much of y'all's time on that. I just want to show you how simple it is to put something like this together. So I've got all my images. I'm going to bring this I'm going to bring this forward. That's the for sale sign. Actually, I want that all the way. So I'm going to hit position, forward, and keep bringing it forward to where I want it. You know, I can put something like that in there if I want to, or it's already says sold down here, so I might not even need this other one. I can delete that. I don't need this other house. I can put EXP here. I can put the team logo or Mentorship Masters here. Make that smaller. You know, like Dinko, if you have a, here, let me bring this up. I'm going to make these even. There we go. Dinko, if you have a logo with your name or something like that, you could add that here. I think with a cool name like Dinko, you almost need a logo, you know. Let's see. I could actually pop the EXP logo on top of that if I wanted to. But I mean, I can go back and tweak this later. I just want to show you guys how easy this is to put together. And then what I want to put at the very top, I'm going to copy, hold on. Okay. Oh, oops. I'm going to take this and I'm going to hit where it says resources information. I'm going to hit the little copy. Put that at the top. Okay, can y'all see the Canvas screen? Oh, Dinko, you're only seeing me? That's weird. You'll have to go back and watch the video, Dinko. So Dinko has sold. No, you know what we'll put? Mentorship Masters sold more than 1,000 houses, and we can sell yours too. Then I'm going to make this font smaller. Can everybody see me? Dinko, I don't think you can see me, right? If you can't see me, Dinko,
okay. It changed my whole display. Like when you click stuff for some reason, I don't know why, and it didn't do it the first time, but last week and this week, like it changes my display and literally cut my zoom in half, and like my screens are small and my Zoom chat box disappeared, and I had to find it. It's weird. I don't know. I have to look into it. I
Let
don't
me
know if
let
it's
me see. Let me look at something here.
or
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that.
and I think
Do
Mina
you have a
said she
Zoom
had the
account?
same issue.
Do you have a Zoom account, Dinko?
I clicked the links that you send in the email.
Yeah,
Should
but do you have a Zoom account?
I did. I created one, but it never asks me to log in. So I don't know if that's what's causing the issues.
Yeah, so if you have a Zoom account, it might be thinking that you're also an administrator.
Okay.
It might be doing something tricky that way. So, but what I would do, grab the maybe take a couple of screenshots and then send them to Zoom and just ask them, hey, this is happening. What is it? And so you can get that figured out, because you might be coming in a different mode than the other participants are coming in. You know what I mean? Because like what I see is completely different than what y'all see.
Yeah. And it might be because I asked in the chat box, and I think Mina said she has the same thing. So sometimes when you're navigating between screens, it's cutting my screen up. So I don't know if it's like being linked to yours or what's going on. I got to look into that.
Yeah, we'll have to. I'm glad you said that, because hopefully the video will come out. You can just fast forward to this part of the video.
Okay.
So then what I'm going to do, guys, I can change the color where it says Home Seller's Guide to whatever color I want. I can do. And EXP has official orange and official blue colors. So you'll want to make sure you grab those and use those. Now if you want this to actually look even better than this, you could put in more graphics. You can put in more, but the whole purpose of this, guys, and this is just to give you an idea of how to put something like this together. I'll show you real quick how else you could do this. I could actually position this. Let me see. Let me bring this. Let me see if it'll let me. No, it's not letting me bring this up. But anyway, I just created this just to kind of show you guys how Canva works. I use it for tons and tons and tons of stuff. So it's real simple to go in. And the whole purpose of that is that when you leave this on somebody's doorstep, okay, or let's say you have packets at your open house, and that you have there for people that say, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house, because you're going to get them. Okay, you're going to get them. Why would you hand somebody a business card when you have a pre-listing package and your own book? Those of you that already sold something, closed something, now you've got your own book, right? But at least you've got your pre-listing packet, and you want it to look like this, okay? So when they see it, it's enticing for them to open it up and look at the goodies inside, right? It's all psychology, guys. It's all it is. It's all psychology. So if I mail this to someone, guess what? They see it, it jumps out in their mail, okay? If I leave it on their front doorstep, because I'm having a listing appointment with them tomorrow, and I leave it there for them the night before, guess what? It stands out, it gets noticed. And if I have a pack, 2 or 3 of these at my open house, they get noticed. So that's the only reason why you want to create a cover sheet, okay? And again, I like Canva because it's free. You could, what Lucas did with his is he just put his business card on the front. That's another idea. He put a picture of a sold house and then another picture back here. So, and then he put the Knolly team down at the bottom, So there's all kinds of ways to do that, but I just wanted to quickly show you guys. Was there anything else that you guys need any after class help with? The product number for the envelopes, I'll have to look that up. Sabu, I would recommend ask that question on our workplace, and then I'll look it up and find. Now, David Speedy ordered some of these. You have to order 500 at a time, 500 at a time of these. And so he's got a lot of extras. So hit up David Speedy and pay him to send you like 50 or whatever. Or if any of you guys are ordering some, maybe go in to get, they're super cheap though, to order. Lucas says he can't find his bio. Your bio, guys, is inside of your, when you go into your enterprise, and you go on your profile, your bio is right there. That's where you're going to update your bio. So make sure that your bio is updated. By the way, we've updated some of y'all's bios, and I went out there and I noticed that they weren't updated on your website. You still got, misspellings, and what's it going to be like? Somebody goes to your bio and it looks and it's got words misspelled and it's just not good. That's the reason why I tell you guys, when you have a bio, send it to us. Patty Lynn and I are expert writers. We'll both look at it and we'll tweak it for you. We'll make it look good. Okay. Who else? Does anyone else have any other questions during our after class time, or anything that you're having any problems with or issues with? Sabu is asking, what about adding my logo with the Knolly team? Okay, so that's getting kind of tricky because Lucas can get away with it easier because he's here. By the way, I don't think it will add any advantage to you guys, except that it could add the advantage of getting referrals. Okay, because a lot of agents know me all around the country, but there's nobody in your local town that knows the Knolly. They don't know anything about me. Like if I came to your town, I'm an unknown. Lucas has the added advantage because he's here in Austin, and I'm very well known in the Austin area. So but our my logo is registered with the Texas Real Estate Commission. Okay, or the name, the Knolly team, is registered there. EXP gets a little bit tricky about this whole team thing because we're not technically a team. We're actually a group. Even Mentorship Masters is not a real estate group or real estate team. It's a training company. It's a coaching group. Is what it is. So Sabu, I'd have to find out. Patty Lynn, write that. Let's look into the do's and don'ts because they're getting real. I guarantee you. A couple of agents didn't have their DRE number on their EXP logo, which is required in California, and they got cited and written up in Inman. They were like, "Oh, you had 100 violations." Well, what was the violation? Big deal. Like they didn't have their number on something. Like who cares, But it's something that's technically required, and you can guarantee it was a hater that was just going after and trying to find stuff, right? And so sometimes they play those games. Yeah, Sabu put his logo here. You said that's the logo you created. Let me look at it here real quick, Sabu. Artistic Homes Group, bridging the gap to your real estate needs. Yeah, I like it. Did you do this yourself, Sabu, or you had somebody do it for you? And you guys can't see this, but Sabu put this in the, let me see. You guys can see that. This is something that Sabu has created, Artistic Homes Group. That looks good. The only thing about this is that, for one, I don't know if it's just this version of it. It's very pixelated. It's not very clear. I like the whole cartoon thing, but it doesn't work for everybody. I just got to tell you, I used to love using like cartoon images in my advertising, and it just didn't work for everybody. You're dealing with doctors and certain people that you're selling their houses. It doesn't work for everybody. The other thing is I love the concept. You're going. Basically, he's saying, I can sell anything from a tree house to a castle. I love that concept. And the other thing, though, Sabu, is when you create any kind of logo, you've got to think about how it would look very large and how it would look very small. So if I have that logo on a business card, nobody's even going to know what that is. See what I mean? So you might have more than one version of it. And if it plays into your creativity or your creative style, to do it this way, fine. It's great. And so, but honestly, a logo is not going to get you a listing. It's not going to get you, uh, a logo is not going to get you business, guys. That's a logo is just something we do. We learn in marketing and branding. We tell people that they need a logo, but it's, who cares? I mean, if you want to know what logos, some of the best logos look like, they're just words. There's no pictures. Okay, Facebook, Coca-Cola, Google. Okay, just go look at those logos. Walmart. Okay, Sears. Just go look at them, and you'll see that there's no symbols. There's no Nike. Now Nike has a little swoosh sign, but it's very. I mean, they spent so much money. It just a waste of money. I think they spent like $1 billion on just the swoosh. You know, to try to imprint that in people's minds. Nobody cares. You know, most logos are words. Okay, and there's a whole psychology around logos and all that, but a logo is not going to get you a listing. Okay, so they look cool and there's a place for them, but it's not going to really get you. They're overrated, put it that way. Dinko looked up the full view window. Thanks, Dinko. Dinko put the link there, guys, so you can click and get that. Let me make sure this is the right one. Yeah, that's it. You got it. Thanks, Dinko, for doing that. Appreciate it. I'm good for staying after a little bit longer, guys. If anybody, Dinko, did that help you? Did that answer the questions that you had? Cool. All right. So if you guys have any other questions during this week, we're going to introduce the next week where I'm going to take one of you guys and I'll kind of critique through some of your marketing material. We'll introduce that on the next call that we have together. Dinko's asking which size should we get so we don't get asked again. It should be a 9x12. Yeah, there's a 9x12 is the one you want because you're putting an 8.5x11 in there. So it's the 9x12. The 6x9 is this size right here. Like for a small, like for your, like a small book or something like that. If you did that, you'd have to fold all your papers in half, and you don't want to do that. Man, I love you guys. We've had, I see a few questions still rolling in. Keep it, move it over to the workplace if you have any other questions for me around this. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I thank you for partnering with me. And get out there. Let's go get some houses. Let's change the grooves in our brain. Let's take our mind and create new patterns, new habits, new grooves, new success, and take it to the level that we know. Let's bring it to where we know God has positioned us and placed us for him to be. Okay, we came into this realm for a purpose, and when we leave this realm, we will have fulfilled our purpose. Let me leave saying this. I was listening to something from Kevin Trudeau this week. He said that 99% of people, okay, first of all, 95% of Americans, let me give you two stats. 95% of Americans die with less than $1,000 in the bank. Okay. 95% of Americans die with less than $1,000 in the bank. 99% of people leave this earth, they leave this planet, they leave this realm without having even begun the purpose for which they were sent here. Like they leave with the music still left within them, okay? That's not gonna be our fate. That's not gonna be what happens with us. We're gonna leave, when we're leaving this realm, we're gonna have a smile on our face and doing the happy dance like, hey, we did what we came to do. We divided, we conquered, we made it happen. God made it happen through us, and we're the conduit. So, hey, with that, I'm gonna leave you guys. You have a great rest of the week, a great weekend, many more listings. Love y'all. Till next time, adios.
Thanks, Knolly.
Bye-bye, thanks.
Yep, thanks, Noel.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Leave in a blaze of glory. I like it, Sabu. That's it.